We have no control of the kids anymore.
We don't.
We can't touch them.
Why?
Because the system says we can't. They are protected as educators. We can't. A student can put their hands on me and I touch them back.
You going to jail?
I might not go to jail, but I'm losing my clearances.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lose my job. Same thing with the parents. I'm gonna give you a story. My sister, Muslim her whole life. Older sister, she's 48. Muslim her whole life. She don't run the streets. She don't drink. She don't smoke. She's always covered. My niece, 15 years old, that's all she know. Masjid, praying, everything. Guess what? She's running the streets right now.
Why? Why do you think that?
Because of what she's being influenced from outside of the home.
Totally agree.
She has
totally agree.
my sister does not have men running in the house, nothing. She's doing it because what she see out here. Matter of fact, one day my sister tried to stop her from leaving the house.
She started fighting.
Start fighting. Sister's a teacher. My sister got locked up.
Right.
For disciplining her
For
own
disciplining her child. Out here in Delaware County.
Right.
Locked up. Had to bail out, had to get a lawyer. Now my sister's afraid because she know that if she says something, or my niece says something, she's going to jail.
Correct.
My niece is really like the only child now because her sister's 29, 30.
Right.
My sister makes sure she's my niece covers and everything.
It's still act crazy.
Still act crazy.
Do you think that we have tried to give our kids a lot more than what we had? And because of that, kids have been...
They don't work for it.
They don't work for
I
it.
think it's the system. They have rights.
But then we always have a system in
No,
place.
the rights, but as the brother said, your neighbor could discipline you. The teachers could discipline you. We can't do that anymore. Police can't even touch these kids anymore. They're not afraid of anybody.
But
I get cussed out every day.
But do you think that because even what you're saying that like the structure, why I keep saying going back to the home, the structure, because the women think they're more manly than the man, so that plays a part too. Because when you had some strong men in your life, so you still, even at this point, I still say yes ma'am, yes sir, stuff like that. So it's kids out here that do follow that structure, but it's like it still get overshadowed by the bad ones.
Oh, absolutely.
So even when all right, you take your son. He go to school, he's swimming, he doing this, that, and I see you posting up all the time. Now, you take the same kid that might go to school, he doing all this type of stuff. And what's the first thing you said when you first had your child? I'm gonna tell you the first thing I said when I had a child. I don't want to do the same thing that my mother and father did to me, so I'm gonna make it a little better for them. Now, go back to that statement. Was your dad and your mom that bad?
No.
Because you got the same value, because you got that value.
Yeah.
So now when we trying to take that from them and say we want them to be better we want to do better than our pops and them, we take that discipline out and say, well, I want to talk to them. I want to do this to them. But if you set the law early,
correct,
you ain't got that problem, because again with the tablets, the phones, the this, that, no. Go back in the day, they like this the whole time. No, get that off. I remember back in the day, my aunt had a rotary phone in the kitchen. Everybody in the house, we used to get 10 minutes on the phone. We could only use that phone for 10 minutes. She'd pick up the other line, get off my darn phone. So there was structure in the house.
Yeah.
It's no structure no more.
So what about discipline? But I chose to go to the streets.
I did too.
seeing all of us, yeah.
So was it the structure or was it?
No, but that structure, you kept it though.
But this is what I see though, we always had that structure. The only thing I think was different was we policed ourselves different back then. We disciplined ourselves different back then. You can still discipline. The law that says you can't, it's not you can't discipline your son. You can't be excessive. But the thing is, abusive, senseless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So leaving it there, what happens is...
But what is considered abuse?
What is considered abuse?
It's a thin line.
It is a thin line.
Today, if you grab your child and that's considered abuse.
But that was Tuesday when we was growing up. That was Wednesday.
No, but that's why I said these kids, I can't, I get it. A lot of times we say it's the parents is home. I know parents that come and are in their daughter's son's life.
Right.
And let me say this. The girls are worse than the boys.
Oh, yeah, better believe it.
Yeah.
They jump in your face like they ready to run.
The girls are the ones who's encouraging these boys to be killers. I have had students that would say, my man's a killer, 14, 15 years old. So the guys are more so like, I need to be a killer.
Because but if you know what I said? At the root of everything, it's a woman.
Absolutely.
At the root of it, it's somebody deep down in there. All these little things, this, that, and that. But and another thing I'm saying is, take this point of it. When you, the whole little structure, not just the family, this, that, and that. We used to have homies that be like, yo, you want some nut stuff?
Correct.
Like, chill out.
Correct.
Like, go ahead. Like, now nut stuff is cool.
It's cool.
So like, you don't got the person that's gonna say something like,
listen,
like,
we in our 50s. We disagree. We argue today, and then we'll make a bar. But we check each other, right?
But they don't.
You check your homie as a young boy. There may be a
that
war.
part of the game is
There
gone.
may be a gunfight. There may be a fist fight to the
They didn't
third.
know how to fight no
Going
more.
back to the home structure, is that the parents' fault? I disagree. I don't believe that it's the parents' fault all the time. I
Not all
do
the
believe.
time. I'm not gonna say all the time.
I believe
You think
that
systematically this has been placed to really have our children?
I do.
I think the things that's placed in the park.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna agree with you. 60-40. This is what I'm gonna say 60-40. I'm gonna say just 60% on 40%. Why I'm gonna say it may be some of that way too, but why I still go back to not just the home, the neighborhood, the community, everything. Why I say this is because we allow certain things to come into that to make it systematic. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if they run up there, I don't care what's going on right now. On my block, I'm from Montrose.
Okay.
All
right.
So on my block right now, well, not my block now because I don't live on the block, but where I was raised and stuff, you couldn't do certain things because certain people lived certain parts of the block. And we went to the street. We won't keep it all the way funky. We went to the street, but I still was shameful. And Islam, we say, you feel no shame, do as you are. So I still was shameful of certain things that certain people seen. So I might have went, like, Mr. Bill, I might have ran up the street a little bit, lost my little joint up there, came back down the street, sat down and started talking to him. He was like, and he knew what I was doing. He said, ain't he over there waiting for you? I'd be like, he gotta wait, I'm talking to you. And he'd be like, well, you know what you gotta do? You wanna get them out of here, you wanna get them out of here.
But he also respected that you respected him.
Right, so I was finished at 8 o'clock because I knew all the old people was gonna come outside, smoke cigarettes and stuff. No, so when we say systematic, like the neighborhood didn't go for certain things, like as a whole. So you couldn't do that. Now everybody's, I don't care. Like, long as
Why do you think that?
Because there's nothing come back. Like you say, just like you said, you get cursed out every day. If you go outside and say something to somebody's kid, 9 times out of 10, they mother, they uncle, they pop, everybody gonna come up the street. You don't be saying nothing to my kid. So therefore, you like, as long as they ain't destroying my property, they can go ahead and do what they're gonna
The
do.
reason I say systematic is because this isn't outside. This is in the schools.
Yeah.
The kids can cuss you out all day long.
But it started from outside though.
No.
But what he's saying is when it comes to the school,
When it comes to school, that's
When it
not
comes
from
to school,
outside.
that's not-
We have no rights as educators because it's about the kids. We have to redirect them. I'm gonna tell you how it's systematic. You heard of an IEP?
Yeah.
The Individualized Education Plan. If a kid is diagnosed or is prescribed an IEP, if they have a behavioral IEP, this is part of their behavior.
Right.
Their behavior is to get up and throw a chair,
So
to cuss you out. You can't do nothing.
they gotta get a wrap around and all that type of
You
stuff.
can't. No.
It's
This is in their IEP.
So
So you
this-
got to redirect them. That's why I said it's systematic.
let's redirect. We're gonna have a commercial break. We'll be right back.
On in search of the perfect song, my mom.
This shit keeps calling my name. I need the soup.
What I'm saying is that the IEPs, this is all systematic.
Right.
They are, in my opinion, diagnosing these kids from birth with ADHD.
Which you can't know until they get a certain age.
And
right?
they're doing it, and the parents are saying, "I want my kid to be better." They
That's
did.
a lot. And people because they hate one thing you do wrong, right? Let me just say that. Now he ain't no good, but he speaks a lot of truth of what's going on.
That's why I said I'm gonna give you 60-40 of it
Okay.
because I agree with all that. Like certain genres or or section, y'all they take the power away from you. And being though you downtown with a lot of things all the time, like you can't do this. Like, and the president just made it even worse.